Here are the steps to take for your first tax deed auction. This is vital if you're going to go to a tax deed auction and you want to get properties that you can profit with. Tax deeds are one of the best investments for being able to find property, sometimes as much as 90% below market value. There is no other real estate genre that can allow you to get such amazing deals at amazing prices. If you're working on a budget, maybe you only have 5-10 grand, it's not unrealistic to be able to buy a property that could be worth 50, 60, 100, sometimes even more. The thing is, if you stick with this business, it's not a matter of if you'll get life-changing deals. It happens for everybody that takes action and sticks with it. So let's dive in. You're getting ready for your first sale. So basically what this means at this point, you have identified a sale. Now, if the sale is in your own backyard, start basically doing your deep due diligence just a couple days before that sale. It makes no sense to prep for a tax deed sale like 2 weeks out. Like, sure, you can look at the list, but remember, you want to do that title research so you don't buy something that could cost you money and make you lose some money, which I've seen before. And the reason you don't want to go too far out is because most of those properties are going to redeem. In human nature, to leave things until the last minute. So most of your properties are going to redeem 1-2 days before the sale and even the day of the sale. So you need to be prepared for that. All right. So for anybody tuning in, I'm Dustin Hahn. I've been doing tax liens and deeds for a long time, and we help folks get started. So if you like this content, make sure to subscribe. Anybody who wants to subscribe, I like to give them this free mini course as well. There's a more info button below. You can click a link. This is the best-selling book that'll show you how to start, and these on-demand trainings are in the description below. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and ask a question in the comments, as it gives me ideas for future videos. And yeah, let's dive in. So if you're going to travel, maybe you live in a tax lien state, all right? So if you're going to travel, you want to identify a sale that's going to have at least a couple hundred properties coming up and at least 50 to 100 properties, ideally 100 properties that when you show up, you can take 2 days and drive 50 properties per day. And the reason is because plenty of people fly across the country, maybe to Texas or whatever auction. Maybe they only have 30 properties, and then the day of the auction, all of their properties are redeemed and they get absolutely smoked. Now, this can be very annoying, but the good thing to remember is your trip is tax deductible, so you can claim it as a business expense, which is very good. But if you're going to travel, at least go for the kill if you want to. So it's a bit counterintuitive because I do say sometimes like, hey, go to auctions and practice. If you have the luxury of being in Texas or Florida or Georgia or Philly, places where there's monthly auctions, you have the luxury of being able to practice and go and not put pressure on yourself. But if you're eager beaver, you want to travel. We've done many trips. Like 20 years ago, I started traveling to Texas, and totally worth it because every month there's hundreds of properties, okay? So you want to do the bulk of your research just a few days before the auction. So for example, Texas and Georgia, the sale is the first Tuesday of every month. Now treat this the same if you're going to, say New York, where there's a yearly sale, or wherever. The key thing, let's say the sale's on a Tuesday, I like to arrive on a Saturday. And then Sunday, Monday, look at 50 properties a day. Boom. Monday morning, you update the list. Remove anything that's been redeemed. The morning of the auction, once again, they'll put up a board outside where the auction is, and from there you're gonna strike it off again. So it's very common for your 100 properties to be whittled down to, 10 or 20 properties, okay? So you just need to expect that. Sometimes there's more, sometimes there's less. And remember, this business, you have to be scrappy. You've gotta be scrappy. Sometimes you're gonna go to sales and everything's gonna get bid up to market value. And then you know what's gonna happen? A lot of people are gonna come back online and be like, I went to a sale, it got bid up to market value. Everything gets bid up to market value. And maybe it does in your county. Boo-hoo, there's 3,300 counties. Find another county, It's like, life's not fair. I'm sorry. Well, actually, I'm not. But, there's 3,300 counties. There's so many people who have used this book to become full-time investors, use this channel. This is part of the game. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Everybody would be making money. You're going to have to get scrappy, right? You think it'd just be easy, you know, if the general public could go and, you know, do this, they'd scoop them all up. That's why this business is a bit underground. And that's why you're at the right place at the right time to take advantage of this business. You know, there's been people that I've worked with, they've went a whole year and just studied, gone to a sale a month, sometimes from different countries, to learn the business. They treated it like a college education the first year. And then in the second year, they bought $3 million or $2.8 million worth of real estate for 280 grand, pennies on the dollar, changed their life, away they go. And then you have folks that they go to one sale and, oh, everything's bid up, and then they're crying, and then their wife has to give them a big hug and say it's okay. But then that's not enough. They got to go, you know, get more hugs from like the free hug person, right? It blows me away how soft people are these days, and they don't want to put in some work. If you're going to make this work, you got to work it. Put in an hour a day, 5 days a week, and you'll make it work. If you want my help, there's a link below. You can book a call. We'll build you a custom plan for doing this to accelerate that, show you exactly where to start. So you're prepping for the auction, right? You want to make sure that your phone GPS is good. You want to put those addresses in. That way you can optimize your route. You want to book your tickets. If you're traveling far, book them in advance. From there, you want to make sure you have a rental car. Make sure that before you leave the rental car place, that the cigarette lighter works. There's been many auctions where I've forgot to do that, and then my phone's dying, and Murphy's Law is going to kick in, okay? The other thing, you can use your phone camera to be taking pictures. You want to have your spreadsheets ready to go with your max bids, which is the next step. If you're prepping for this, you want to have your max bids calculated, all right? Max bids calculated. If you can't see inside the property, which most of the time you won't be able to do, you know, you want to count for a full rehab unless it's occupied, and from there you can generally tell that it's in good shape. All right. Next thing is you want to go ahead and make sure you understand the auction rules. You want to find out what forms of payments are accepted. How long do you have? Do they only take cashier's check? Do they take cash? Are some auctions allow you to put down 10% and assign the bid, which is very cool. You can do that in some places. You want to find out what are the post-auction procedures in that specific county, okay? So what are the procedures? What do you do after? Make sure you don't have any existing back taxes owed in that county. Otherwise, you won't be able to finish your bid. And if you bid on the property and then you fail to go pay for it, you're going to be banned from that place forever. They'll lock you in the basement, throw away the key. Maybe not. Find out if there's an auction after the auction. This is actually how I bought one of my first properties. All the properties were sold, and then somebody didn't pay. You know, they threw him in the basement, they locked him up, they threw away the key. He's still there in tax deed jail. You don't want to go there. But I went after. There was like 40 people at the first auction. There was 5 at the next auction. And man, what I can tell you is the thrill of getting your first property at this thing. There's nothing like it. Now, some of these places now are doing the deed auction online. So you want to find out how to do that. Maybe you need to put some money in deposit. So I can't give you a specific answer for every county because there's 3,300 of them. So that's going to be up to you to come up with your game plan, figure out how to comp some rehabs, maybe get in touch with some real estate agents in the area as well while you're on the road, and find a co-pilot. That's huge. Now, it's not necessary, but it is nice to have a co-pilot so you can be driving, they can be typing in the data. Definitely helps. And remember, when you're looking at the property, if somebody's in the house, you know, don't be a creep. Just do what I call like a drive-by shooting of a picture with your camera. Don't be a creep, be chill. You know, when you're in the neighborhoods, don't be creepy, right? Just be chill. Have the window down. If you see people, wave to them. Be like, hey, what's going on? Because then they'll be like, do I know that guy? As opposed to somebody with like ulterior motive driving around all day. Like, you know, what's going on? Because folks can spot that a mile away. If you're in a neighborhood where you feel uncomfortable, leave. You know, like you don't need to be there. One time I was in a rough part of the neighborhood, and I'm like checking out this property up for auction, and there was like a squatter in the property, and I'm like, oh, I'm just checking out, and the guy's like, yeah, I'll show you inside if you want. It's $5. I was like, okay, sure. Maybe I don't recommend that, but be prepared, and you can make this business work. It's one of the best real estate investments. It's almost like an underground investment. Most people don't understand it because it's hard, but any good thing, the more it's proportional, the effort you put in is what you'll get out of it. Unfortunately, most people are going to fail because they just can't stick with something. They can't take the heartache of maybe going to 1 or 2 auctions and not getting a property, or being discouraged because things are bid up. But that's great, because the people who quit are just going to leave more on the table for people like you and me to go in, put in some effort, and show them up. That's how it goes. So thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you like this video. Make sure to thumbs up, subscribe if you like it. There's a link below to this book, which will show you step by step exactly how to start. Check out the other videos. Hit the thumbs up if you like this thing. And in the more info button is the link to the free training. Don't worry, I don't try to bait and switch you with a credit card or anything like that. Check it out. Thanks for tuning in. I'm here to help you, and we'll see you on the next one.